Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek. I'm trying a different camera angle today, so we'll see how we go. I just thought, so you can see the telly behind me. So I thought I'd put a Starfield on. It's on YouTube, so some adverts will probably come on any minute, just to spoil it, to spoil the ambience. Anyway, a bit of Star Trek news for us today. Hang on, I haven't set up, have I? Oh, what am I like? There we go. Right, so Jonathan Frakes doesn't have much hope for another Star Trek movie. He says TV is the future. So here we go. Is that going to display properly? No, it isn't, because, you know, of course not. Right, here we go. I think that'll get it okay. This is from Slash Film. But I think it said iFilm on the I don't know, Slash Film. It says on the website URL. So as usual, links in the description. Don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell. What else? I'm also on Rumble and Spotify, Anchor.fm, Amazon Music Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Me social medias are Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Links for those are in the description as well as the links for my 2 books that are on Amazon, available in paperback and Kindle. One's called Mercury Rapids. It's a light-hearted sci-fi adventure, and the other is Silent Predator, which is a short novella. It's less than 100 pages, about a big cat killing people in North Yorkshire. Right. Where were we? Jonathan Frakes. Right. Jonathan Frakes doesn't have much hope for another Star Trek movie TV. Is the future. And there he is. I think he's on board the Phoenix there in Star Trek First Contact. Right. So, of all the actors to have appeared on Star Trek, Jonathan Frakes might be the most prolific director. He probably is of the actors. Throughout the franchise's history, at least since the days of Star Trek The Next Generation, actors have often stepped into the director's chair, helming multiple episodes. Frakes, however, managed to find a whole second career in directing, and has to date directed 25 episodes of Trek across its various iterations. Frakes also directed 10 episodes of The Librarians, which I've never seen. I've heard it's good. 13 episodes of Leverage, or was it Leverage? Another thing I've never seen. And dozens of episodes from other shows. Frakes also broke into making feature films with Star Trek First Contact and Star Trek Insurrection, as well as the brightly coloured kid adventure film Clock Stoppers and Thunderbirds. God, that was terrible, that one. Having worked on both film and television, Frakes may be uniquely qualified to comment on which medium is most appropriate for Star Trek. It might be worth mentioning that Star Trek has always functioned better on the small screen than the large, while Star Trek the Motion Picture is suffused with the cinematic grandeur that couldn't play on a TV. It does, but you know, it's the 2001 of Star Trek, isn't it, really? And films like Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country are hearty and worthy entertainments. The franchise at large has always gathered more power as a collection of televised miniature morality plays. Large-scale action spectacle has never been its strong suit. But when it does it well. Look at the Dominion War in Deep Space Nine. And the space battle in Star Trek Nemesis. Everybody moans about Star Trek Nemesis, saying how terrible that film is. I actually quite like it. But the space battle in that against the Romulan, the Romulan and Enterprise against the Scimitar, it's the best space battle in Star Trek, in my opinion. In the movies, I think the best space battle in Star Trek is the I forgot the call. What battle was it now? At the end of the Dominion War. And the Battle of Chintaka or whatever they called it. That was amazing as well. Anyway, whatever. Right, in the latest issue of SFX magazine, Frakes talked about Star Trek and the future of the Star Trek Enterprise. Do you get that? Even with a few movies under his belt, even Frakes seems to sense that the future Star Trek is at home, not in theatres. And there he is in That's in Insurrection, because he shaved his beard off, didn't he? He got Deanna to shave his beard off. Smooth as an android's bottom, eh, Data? And Data comes on like that. That's probably the best bit of that film. Over the last few years, there has been a great deal of struggle in getting another Star Trek feature film into theatres. A fourth film in the Kelvin continuity has been stalled in production for years, thank goodness. With Slash film. Oh, right, it's his Slash. It's not an I, it's a Slash, isn't it? I'm a boomer. With Slash film pondering its future as far back as 2021 and finally finding it dead in 2022. Originally, a Star Trek 4 was meant to unite Chris Pine's Captain Kirk with Chris Hemsworth, the actor who played his father in the 2009 film. I'm not a fan. Nicolas Cage said he might want to be in a Star Trek film, but that is no promise of anything. There was also a lot of ballyhoo surrounding the 2017 announcement that Quentin Tarantino might be making a Star Trek film, a bizarre thought to be sure. That film was never made, thank God. It'd be bloody awful. I love Quentin Tarantino films, but I don't think I'd like a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek film. Stick to your Star Trek quotes in your regular films, Quentin. Which he does. Frakes saw these floundering projects and came to the easy conclusion that cinemas were perhaps not going to accept Trek back onto their screens anytime soon. Frakes said, quote, "Movies are tough. Even J.J. Abrams can't get this fourth movie off the ground." I'm thankful for that. Although I didn't mind Star Trek Beyond. I quite enjoyed that. You know, it did have problems in it, and I think the Enterprise is bloody awful. It's terrible shape. And that Starbase Yorktown thing was just... What was that? Was that something that the Federation built? Or was it something they found? Or was it something some aliens built and joined the Federation? I don't know, but... it were awful. It were too big and too advanced, in my opinion. Anyway... all those wonderful rumours. Noah Hawley was attached to a Star Trek movie and Quentin was toying with people's emotions about doing a movie. If those two names can't get a effing movie made, I don't know. TV is the future, it seems to me. Frakes has appeared in several episodes of Star Trek Picard, a show that dispenses with Trek's traditional episodic structure and deals with broad season-long story arcs instead, and seasons 1 and 2 were terrible. Actually, no, I can't say that. I did quite enjoy season 1 up to the final episode. Yes, it had problems, but I did quite enjoy watching it until that final episode, which was terrible. And season 2 were just rubbish. It was just rubbish. Apart from the first episode. The first episode was good. I thought, ooh, this is good, is this? But then it just all went to pot after that, didn't it? Something like Picard might be considered a movie unto itself. Anyway. If TV can slake one's thirst for cinematic Star Trek... slake one's thirst for cinematic Star Trek... Spit. It already seems to have it covered. The future of Star Trek. And there he is as Captain Riker. At the end, that is in the final... I think it's the final episode of season 1 of Picard, when he's on the... whatever the name of that ship was, Shenzhou or whatever. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't that, it was something else, wasn't it? The Shenzhou were in Discovery, wasn't it? Anyway, when relegated to the small screen, though, the possibilities are endless. The recent wave of Star Trek shows, the ones on Paramount Plus, have revealed that the franchise's timeline is wide open, with some shows taking place a few years after the end of Star Trek Voyager, Prodigy, and Picard, I suppose, and other immediately prior to the original 1966 series. Also Lower Decks, to add to those others. And the ones before the 1966 series is obviously Strange New Worlds and Discovery until season 3, when they went to 1,000 years in the future nearly. Some are 30-minute animated, which they don't mention, do they? Some are 30-minute animated shows, some are okay for kids, some are hour-long episodic programmes, and some are season-long R-rated yarns. It seems the door is wide open. I think the R-rated yarn, I think that's Picard, isn't it? Because a lot of swearing in it. For no good reason, it's just there. Although they did the first F-bomb in Star Trek were in Discovery, wasn't it? And that was for no reason either. We just because they could. Anyway, after the conclusion of Star Trek Picard, its next season is its last, allegedly. Frakes, I hope so anyway. Frakes thinks that there are still plenty of places to go, even with the same characters, he said. I hope the road leads to another series, he said. The setup is there clearly, as you'll see by the end of the season. Excuse me. Let's have a little drinky. Unprofessional. Where were we? It all seems to me that the characters in this final season of Picard, should it work out, are primed for another journey. So they don't all die then, Blake 7 style at the end. I'm certainly optimistic. I think it may be the end of the Picard story, but I'm not sure it's the end of the Next Generation story. So does Picard die? I know he's dead already, isn't he? He's a robot now, but does he get dismantled? That's the vibe. I'm an eternal optimist. I'm sure it's what showrunner Terry Matalas would like. What they should do, they should take off Picard's head and sort of like install him on the bridge as like the computer. And Patrick Stewart can be the voice of the computer going forward. If that happens, you all owe me £1 million. Even Patrick Stewart, now in his 80s, feels that Jean-Luc Picard has a future, even if Star Trek Picard is at an end, thanks to the magic of the animated show Star Trek Lower Decks, which I don't like, and Star Trek Prodigy, which I do. Guest stars from all eras can now appear. Indeed, Star Trek Prodigy featured posthumous guest spots from René Aubergenois and Leonard Nimoy, using archive audio to provide voices for their animated forms. Would it not, it was done respectfully. Perhaps the animated adventures of Thomas Riker is in the cards. Yeah, that'd be good, because whatever happened to Thomas Riker? I know he went to prison, didn't he? But did he? I think he went to a Cardassian prison, didn't he? Did he? I can't remember. I think he did. So was he killed? You know, when they joined up with the Dominion, or did he end up going to a Federation prison? I can't actually remember what happened in that episode. But yes, it'd be interesting to see what happened with Thomas Riker. Right, so there you go. So Jonathan Frakes doesn't think there'll be any more Star Trek films. I won't be surprised if there won't, because it's all TV now, isn't it? Are there going to be any more Star Wars films? God knows. It's all TV. It's all streaming now. That's the future. Like garlic bread. That's the future. Right, so we'll leave it there. I keep looking over there for the camera and I've put it there, haven't I? Right, we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and wherever you are in the universe, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see you there.